the chant for peace, which they had us teachers sing at the end of every yoga class. It's written in Sanskrit, so it goes Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I actually have it tattooed on me as well. And in essence, what it means is you bring peace and you give out peace. Very much fitting into the spiritual, loving yoga community. But I knew in my heart something was wrong.
It's nice to feel like, wow, someone gets me, but it's all a lie.
This fast friendship of an eye doctor and these two yoga gurus is one of the weirdest and most fascinating stories I've ever worked on.
Things were just getting crazier and crazier.
I just didn't know that it would come to somebody dying.
I first heard of this story late one evening. I received a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles announcing an arrest in a case that felt like the quintessential California story in a way. It had aspects of wellness culture, dabbling in experimental drug therapies, and it had a fabulous lifestyle as the backdrop to everything. How these people came together and how this unfolded just grabbed me right away. It was a big mystery.
I met Anton for the very first time in downtown Fresno when I was a brand new yoga teacher. I remember being so excited to meet Anton. He had long hair, beard, his clothes were linen, very yogic-esque. I go up to hug him and he stops me and he's like, wait, okay. And he goes, we don't hug like that. He says, we can only hug from the left side. Normally people hug from the right side, but our hearts touch at the left side. So when I hug you, our hearts are hugging too. Of course, this amazing person that I'm gonna meet is gonna, wanna hug that way. It was beautiful in that moment.
Back in 2010, I was part of like a commune type community with Anna. Anna was fun and outgoing and social. She was always showing up at events and she was always participating. And at the time, a lot of people were really into the raw food movement. And so it became a little bit like a hippie cult, vegan superiority kind of community, and we wanted to change the world.
Anna was this angelic mermaid, yogi. When she moved, it was like she floated on water.
Anton and Anna meet through a shared love of wellness. They actually are introduced at a vegan potluck dinner and fall in love and end up back in Fresno where they together form this yoga collective.
Welcome back to my conversation with Feather the Wise today. And our next guest, if you could, please put your hands together for Anna Moore from Fulton Yoga Collective. Did I get it right?
You did. You got it correct.
How you doing? How you doing today?
Doing very well. Thank you so much for asking.
Now, you are from, I'm assuming, the yoga studio?
Yes, it is a yoga studio in downtown Fresno.
The best memories I have of Anna and Anton was at the yoga studio in downtown Fresno. We had very, very famous yogis and gurus come and do workshops, and we did community events and things that really felt like we were opening up Fresno to something so amazing.
Deep breath in through your nose. Bring all the energy up from the base of your spine to the point between your eyebrows. And as you exhale, Offer that energy back out into the universe.
I've since left organized religion, but it almost felt like talking to Anton was like getting on the phone with one of God's angels, because he was a deeply spiritual person.
The pivotal moment comes in June 2017 when Dr. Mark Sawish walks into Kippy's vegan ice cream parlor in Venice Beach, and standing in line behind him were Anton and Anna. By all accounts, this is a chance encounter. The doctor is kind of a successful but plain-spoken and simplistic guy. He was an ophthalmologist, and these two people who were substantially younger than him and very different in the way that they lived their life. They were yoga gurus, they were Burning Man people. Dr. Sawish is really taken by these people. He decides that he wants to talk to them more. They kind of connect over sort of a sense of spirituality. They decide to go walk on the beach. When they spend quite a few hours down there talking about business, philosophy, spirituality, and what they want from life. These are people he's just met, and he decides almost immediately to lend Anton and Anna his Tesla so they can take a road trip up to Northern California. Immediately after they finish their road trip, Anna and Anton send Mark a text. Mark responds to this. This is a very fast friendship. But within a week of meeting each other, Anton and Anna moved into his Malibu beach house. Normally, people don't fall in love with each other this quickly or invite someone to come live in their house on the first day that you've met them. So this was pretty unusual. These three people met randomly in a Venice Beach ice cream parlor. But in the end, one is dead, another is in prison, and the third may have masterminded the whole thing. Mark Sawish was really a rather accomplished ophthalmologist. He had gone to the University of Chicago, where he studied and did his residency at Johns Hopkins. He had created patents for corneal implants. He had settled in California and had built a very successful practice in Pacific Palisades and had bought this beautiful house on the beach in Malibu. The house is what most people would kill for. It's literally between the Pacific Coast Highway and the beach. On the surface, Dr. Sawish is living the dream. But not everything is going great for him. He had ended a sort of lengthy relationship with a girlfriend. He had been married twice, both short-lived marriages that did not survive. He is estranged from his family who live in Florida, and he's very alone. He's seeking structure and friendship and companionship. And in pop Anna and Anton, who offered to give that to him.
Anton told me that it just seemed that it was like a really good, positive environment, and we're all just like focused on enjoying life.
They have parties at the house. And Dr. Sawish now suddenly feels he's part of something cool.
I just heard in that community, people were always coming and going and doing stuff, and it was like a clubhouse party vibe.
I wasn't surprised that they moved that quick, because who wouldn't want to live in a beach house in Malibu? I think Dr. Mark was enjoying it, you know, just being an older person to feel younger. They're re-experiencing life again.
Dr. Sawish struggles with bipolar disorder, which is getting worse as he gets older. And so very quickly, Anna and Anton become indispensable to him and have essentially become Mark's family. They take him to his doctor's appointments. They drive him everywhere. They structure his life. They structure his dietary habits. They bring in massage therapists who provide massages to Dr. Sawish.
I met Mark when I was working for a mobile massage company, and I just happened to get called out a couple of times to his place. I love being a massage therapist. Massage therapists solve problems that you don't even know you have. During the massage, Mark would always tell me his stories, and I just really enjoyed that. Anton did all the scheduling. And then I became one of the therapists who had a lot of shifts with Mark. Anna and Anton and Mark were all best friends. They all just got along really well. And Anton, right off the bat, comes off as the wonderful caretaker. Anton was always very encouraging, very nice person, just always very generous.
Whatever you needed, he was always there to help. If somebody was cold, he'd give you his jacket. And if you wanted to give it back, like, no, just keep it. When I first met Anton, right away, he just rolled up a joint, started passing it around, and we're all just like, sure, why not? Anton's a very charismatic person. So that's one of the things that everybody liked when he would show up. It just seemed like he just brought the party with him. Our personalities meshed very well. We saw each other like basically like 7 days a week. He enjoyed being around me because we had a lot of similar interests. Like we both surf, we're both very artistic. And then all of a sudden, through mutual friends, I did hear about Anna.
After Anna meets Anton, he gets also deeply into the wellness space.
He started going to yoga classes, and he would always dress like a yoga guy. That became his life.
Anna Moore is an interesting woman. She's got a great ability to connect with people and kind of make people kind of feel that she's there to help them. She's a pixie-like blonde who would try to make her way in Hollywood.
You know who really inspired me to be an actor is Robert De Niro. I grew up watching some of his classic films like Deer Hunter, and he is so honest.
And had not had great success with it.
So how long have you been doing this?
Not long.
Do you like it?
I really can't tell yet.
Is it a full-time thing or?
Part-time.
Anna was a social charmer. She wanted to be popular. She wanted to be the cool girl. Anna made herself known.
She reinvents herself as a yoga instructor and a figure in the sort of wellness scene in Southern California.
People have been telling me to eat meat and eat eggs and eat whey protein, and I really don't feel comfortable doing that. It just doesn't feel right to my heart.
The house at Malibu is no longer just a home. It has become a wellness retreat. There's Zen Sundays, there's sound baths.
Anna would host vegan cooking nights, and they would have chefs come over.
Somebody to come and make smoothies for all the guests while they were doing yoga.
They had the meditations. They just did a lot of inner healing, doing whatever they can to have Mark be one spirit, one mind.
I became like a wellness center, and I think Dr. Mark was enjoying it.
Anna taught yoga, and she would sing during yoga classes, and she had this very beautiful voice.
When you eat raw food, you're like climbing the walls, and it was like a monkey circus. It was crazy. People being loud and crazy, and drums. Everyone was just free. It was pretty wild.
Because of how I seen Anton party before, I knew it was like a drug fest.
Anton called us family, so the family would be the teachers. And he would say, we have this house in Malibu that we invite all of our teachers to come to. You can stay as long as you want. We will take care of you. We'll take you to the temples and take you to good food and have you meet all of these influential people. They would mention how we're very connected with big brands, and we can get you to teaching 100 people classes in LA or New York. It was such a big deal. I had not talked to them for a long time. So I had called Anna, and when she answered the phone, She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear from you. I was just thinking about you. How's teaching? I'm hoping you're loving it. We love you so much. She kept saying that. When they would tell it to you, they wanted you to feel it, like so internal, so deeply. It made me feel like, okay, like I'm doing something great for them and they must be so proud of me. It was everything that I wanted to offer and experience as a teacher.
At this point, Dr. Sawish is retired from his practice. He had burned his hands in an accident that had ended his ability to perform surgeries. Mark has grown terribly bored and becomes very paranoid, and he orders Anton and Anna to leave the house for a while. In the house, cameras are installed for security, but it raises the question of who was really watching who. On July 4th, Mark's alone, and there's an unfortunate incident where he gets into an altercation on the Santa Monica Pier and punches a jogger in the face. He's arrested. He gets arrested again for running out at a bar tab in Malibu. He then gets arrested for throwing stones at passing cars on the Pacific Coast Highway. He ends up in jail, and he's held on $40,000 bond. His family does not want to pay the bail. They think he's safer inside than out on the streets again.
I asked Mark about it. Mark was like, I don't talk to them. There's no family. My family is Anna and Anton.
He's stuck. He can't get out. So he decides to call Anton and ask him for help. Anton comes in and makes a suggestion. He says, I can get you this bail money, but you need to give me power of attorney so I can have access to your accounts. Power of attorney is usually a tool that's granted in a situation where someone is unable to make decisions for themselves or unable to take care of themselves. And it takes great pressure off him to make some decisions in his life and gives Anton full ability to make all these financial decisions for the doctor. Anna and Anton bring in a staff of people to help them. They hire up to 20 people, assistants, massage therapists, anything you can think of. They're at the house to help deal with Dr. Sawish and his needs.
There was the chef, there was the maids, and then like the 5 or 6 massage therapists. And Anton's business partner.
Despite everything that's going on at the house, Dr. Sawish's mental health is really not getting any better. It's actually maybe getting worse. With the support of both Anna and Anton, he begins undergoing ketamine treatments for his depression and goes quite frequently. They ramp up the number of massages he's getting every day, which kind of keep him calm. But it's literally 6 to 8 hours a day he's on the table.
I never encountered that before. Everybody gets like an hour, hour and a half, sometimes every day, but never 6 hours in a day. That's unusual.
Separately, Anton and Anna begin doing experiments with LSD and heavy use of marijuana.
I knew a little bit about the LSD drugs only because I came in one day and Mark was really relaxed. And I was like, what's going on? And then Anton told me we're doing a new treatment on him. It's to help relieve Mark's pain. Mark feels like the LSD would help him. He read it somewhere. So whatever Mark wanted, Anton did his best to get it for him.
Everyone in the house sort of notes that the doctor is undergoing all these treatments, that he's becoming less and less engaged with people around him. Mark begins to fall into a period of great decline. As this is all going on, Anna and Anton are posting lovely pictures on Instagram, showing them living a great life. But they were also at the same time making great efforts to hide all the cracks underneath the surface.
I would ask Anton, what's going on with Mark? He wasn't chatty today, he was tired. Even the other therapists noticed, hey, is everything all right? And Anton's like, yes, because of his condition. Some days he's tired. Sometimes he would forget who I was. And I'm like, oh, Mark, it's me, Val. I'm the massage therapist. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know you. And then he would just walk away.
Dr. Solish starts to distrust Anton and Anna and has asked them to leave the house again. They move into a $1,200 a night hotel room in Santa Monica where they are staying on Dr. Solish's dime.
The last day that I was there, I was like, I don't see Mark in the house. They're like, he sometimes goes halfway under the bed. So when I went and checked, Mark, are you okay? And he didn't really respond. And then I could see his chest breathing. I was like, okay, he's breathing, he's okay.
Memorial Day weekend 2018, Mark has grown increasingly paranoid and starts entering into a deeply manic point in his life. Without Anna and Anton there, Mark quickly spirals. He's becoming increasingly incoherent. He's walking around the house, ranting and raving. He begins having conversations with seagulls that pass by his house. He's very much alone and fully in a state of psychosis. Mark sits down on the couch and eventually slumps forward and falls forward onto the coffee table. The massage therapists come in and find him there, and they see that he's turning a bit gray in color. One of them calls Anton and says, I think we have a problem here.
LA County Fire Operator 79.
Hi, I believe that my friend has died in our house. I'm not there at the location.
What city?
Malibu, California.
All right, and do you know the cross street at the corner? Left Source
And
Canyon?
Big Rock, yes, sir. And you'll probably be there before me. The front door is unlocked.
Okay, I got units on the way there now, okay? Hello? 9437, 9437.
Back in Fresno, I wonder all the time where they were. And I was assuming the Malibu mansion. But I started noticing little things that were changing at the studio. They told us, you know, you can't come in and out of the front door anymore, and you'd have to call one of their assistants, and then they would tell you the code. Code after code after code, just to get into the studio, which I thought was really weird. They had hired an in-house assistant to be at the studio. And I felt like I was constantly always being looked at and looked after, not in a good way. At this point in time, yoga's my entire life. It's saved my life. It's made me a better person. I could not fathom losing that. And I was always so scared to get an email of being like, you know what, your class sucks. We'll just get rid of you. So I called Anton directly, and I said, I've been here for a long time and I've helped build this place. And I'm feeling a little bit disrespected because no one told me what was going on. No one talked to me. Anton's response was, you're nothing. You're just a yoga teacher. I am infinitely smarter and better than you. And you are showing yourself as a terrible teacher and a terrible person. I just couldn't believe it. And it scarred me. Just like a tattoo across my heart. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. 8 years on, it still affects me.
Mark is found dead by a massage therapist who happens to be in the house at that time. Anna and Anton are not there when Mark dies. They are ensconced in a hotel in Santa Monica, about 12 miles away. When police arrive, they don't know if his death is accidental or if there's some foul play.
When I found out he died, my heart just sank. No one told me that his condition might be fatal.
I was a little shocked because Like, you don't just pass away from early stages of dementia. So I'm just like, okay, something's up.
Soon after Dr. Sawish passed away, Anna and Anton moved back into the house. And at first, they held a memorial service there for him.
The memorial was really sweet. Anton and a few of his friends spoke. And we had roses, and then we just tossed the roses out on the sand. I asked Anton if any of Mark's family was there. He said, no, they don't want anything to do with Mark. So I just said, oh, okay.
I'm Andrew Roach, and I'm a federal prosecutor with the United States Attorney's Office. How I became involved in this case is we actually received a referral about this case from the victim's family. Following the events after the victim's death, they uncovered a series of suspicious financial transactions.
Soon after Mark's death, his family comes in and they begin the task of unwinding his affairs. They don't think he has any money. They think he's actually close to bankruptcy. To their surprise, they discover that he has accounts worth $60 million.
The victim had a will, and the beneficiary's will was his family members, and in fact, Johns Hopkins University.
Now that Mark's mother and sister are bringing his affairs through probate court, suddenly appeared two creditors' claims from Anna and Anton. They claim that they're his late life caregivers and that they were entitled to a third of his fortune,
which would be $20 million and his beach house.
Immediately upon seeing these claims, Mark's family cry foul and file a civil suit against Anna and Anton claiming abuse. So Mark's family hires an army of lawyers to very quickly discover not only that money had been missing, but that Mark had been kept under this regime of drug use and massage therapy to the point where he really wasn't in control of his life.
Anton never did anything money-wise without the approval of Mark.
Anna and Anton, through their lawyers, make an argument that Mark really wasn't as mentally ill as his family was arguing. They say that it really was when he drank that he would start to lose control, but that he really was able to make his own choices and that everything that they did was, at his behest. Meanwhile, Anna and Anton begin a careful effort to try and maneuver the money that they think they were entitled to into their own possession. Banks are freezing accounts. They start opening up new accounts and going from branch to branch to try and wire money out of the hands of the investigators. Well, on the surface, many of the people who worked in the house were there to help Mark, but Anna and Anton really were using them to help with their own businesses and further their own careers. Then, after he dies, they continue using the money that they've taken to keep their lifestyle going. They bought high-end clothing, ate at the finest restaurants. They're attending the most luxurious events. Meanwhile, Anna's posting pictures of herself on her social media accounts.
The outcome of the civil case was both defendants, Anna and Anton, they settled. Anton realized quickly that the victim died, they had consumed a large amount of drugs, which raises a lot of questions that he never had any good answers to. So they voluntarily agreed to move out of the doctor's house in Malibu and ultimately to relinquish all their claims. Once the civil case was closed, our actual investigation really began. We were able to uncover things that attorneys in the private case were not. And many of those things were extremely troubling. Anton facilitated taking the victim and getting a ketamine injection. When you have a ketamine injection, it tells you not to make any business decisions for a full day afterwards because it could impair your judgment. And then I believe that day, the victim signed a document to cash in a life insurance policy. Of course, Anton facilitated that whole thing, and that $400,000 or so was spent in a matter of months.
In the aftermath of the civil suit, Anna and Anton relocate. They decide to move to Mexico, to Tulum.
There's no doubt in my mind that Anna and Anton continued to live off the money that they had taken from the victim in this case.
But in the end, they finally end their relationship. They'd been together for nearly a decade, but they decided to part ways. Anton returns to the US. He goes back to Fresno to run his window washing business. But Anna remains in Mexico, where she continues to live it up and starts to rebrand herself as Bunny Marley, a Spanish-speaking assassin. She produces a rap video.
Trapped like a butterfly caught up in the lies. I'll just metamorphosize out from under your disguise.
And she's doing weird f***ing shit. Like, she's posting these videos, doing these weird little skits, just acting like a teenager almost. Like, I thought she's on drugs.
During the course of the investigation, we also discovered one of the most troubling aspects of the victim's death.
All along, Anna and Anton had been watching through the security cameras from their hotel room in Santa Monica. They had set up the cameras themselves months earlier.
In the preceding weeks, Anton had supplied the doctor with LSD on multiple occasions. It's akin to sort of shaking up a powder keg and then placing it down, and then obviously you know it could explode.
At this final moment for Dr. Sawish, they were able to watch everything from 12 miles away.
I was shocked. I kind of got a little sick to my stomach, just the thought that somebody's capable of just watching another person just die.
They didn't do a thing. And they waited to hear from one of the massage therapists in the house that he'd actually died before they decided to call 911 at all. In all, $2.7 million was siphoned out of Mark's accounts.
Once they were indicted, and they were indicted on a variety of charges, including conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, and then money laundering counts. Then arrest warrants were issued for their arrest.
Anton was arrested in Fresno, in his hometown. Anna was picked up at the airport in Houston, where she was flying back from Mexico, where she now lived.
Wild story out of Malibu. A hairstylist and a yoga instructor are being accused of drugging an ailing eye surgeon with the goal of taking his beachfront home and stealing millions. This sounds like it's out of a movie, Treasel. Who is this surgeon?
Okay, first of all, I am so upset that I am just learning about this case. It is one of the wildest we've ever covered.
I have an affinity for true crime, and I saw a video, and it had Anna's face on it, and I was like, wait, what? I know her.
I was just blown away when they told me that he was arrested and that he's in jail.
My initial thought was, dang, could Anna have really gone through such trouble to be famous at any price?
I started to connect the dots a lot, particularly the Malibu mansion that they had mentioned that is our big perk. Wasn't theirs. All this money that they were willing to spend on us to show us what really living a yogi's life is in Malibu was stolen money. I didn't realize at the time how much control they had over me. But towards the end, it definitely started to feel like I was just a prop in whatever game they were playing.
So now Anna and Anton are facing criminal charges. This is not just allegations from Dr. Sawish's family anymore. This is from U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles, who are accusing them of committing bank fraud and identity theft. Anna was the first to cooperate with the feds. Within months of their arrest, she decided to plead guilty to the charges against her in return for providing testimony against Anton.
Anton on his Instagram page wrote, "I'm innocent, don't believe what the media is saying about me." And I remember seeing the GoFundMe for his attorney fees. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, dude, it's like, who's gonna contribute to that? Wow, you know, like he's still trying to pretend like just living a lie.
Now faced with having Anna testifying against him, Anton, within a month, agreed to plead guilty as well, because he didn't really have much leg to stand on anymore.
And so he admitted to doing many of the things that we alleged that he had done. So he admitted that he had transferred that money before the victim's death. He admitted that he was lying when he came up with the idea that he was promised that. One of the most troubling aspects of this entire fraud was once Anton and Anna got involved in the victim's life, they really sort of drove a wedge between the victim and everyone else he knew his entire life.
So there were rumors that Dr. Solich was having a sexual relationship with both Anna and Anton.
They all seem like best buddies, and I was like, is this a polyamorous thing? And then I was like, no, it's not.
Knowing Anton, it doesn't seem unlikely that could have been maybe like a threesome or maybe just, you know, between Anna and Doctor, but a part of me thinks that there was.
There was some people that were saying that the three of them actually had also an intimate relationship as well.
I can't speak to that. Sometimes there's rumors going around about all sorts of things. And I look at the facts and the evidence, and that's where it goes.
Ironically, as soon as we heard that she was arrested, like we knew it's like, okay, she's gonna get a shorter sentence for one, because everything is under his name, and number two is that she's probably gonna testify against him and put everything on him. I'm like, I guess she should have got an Oscar for that.
So now it's almost 2 years after their arrest, and Anton appears in court in Los Angeles to face sentencing. He comes in, he's still got his long hair, his long beard, but he's dressed in a prison jumpsuit. I was there, and Anton had a lot of supporters in the courtroom, his family members, a lot of old friends came from Fresno. But on the other side of the room were all the lawyers that Mark Solich's family had hired to work on this case. And they were pretty angry about this.
A defendant has a constitutional right to do what's called an allocution, which is where they personally address the judge who will then impose the sentence. You know, it is sort of the last opportunity, and maybe the only opportunity a criminal defendant has to look a judge in the eyes and say, here's my side of the story.
And he read a letter that said, we were like brothers. I feel so ashamed to be standing here and admitting that I wronged you, brother, for even a second losing sight of the true nature of what we had. I will always have peace knowing that I saw light and fire in your eyes. I am sorry for my crimes. My sincerest apologies to the Solich family. I love you, Mark. I will never forget you. I wish we could have had more time together. Despite his seeming earnestness, the whole presentation just seemed entirely self-serving.
When I heard about his apology letter, I was just like, are you kidding me? I thought it was the most ridiculous and genuine thing ever. I mean, it was like a soap opera.
The judge was really not amused at what Anton had to say and delivered a sentence that was far harsher than what even prosecutors were asking for. It was a sentence of 188 months, which is nearly 16 years in prison.
It found what Anton did extremely troubling, that these crimes will be caught and they will be punished severely.
For her part, Anna was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. So Anna was given credit because she cooperated with authorities and helped them, seal the case. She was also kind of believed to be a lesser actor in the financial fraud that Anton had led the way. One question that comes to mind is really who was the mastermind here. I mean, the court case played out that it was Anton, that he was the one who helped orchestrate the financial fraud. But there's some people who might argue that maybe it was Anna who was pulling the strings behind the scenes all along, and that she had Anton set it up in such a way that made him more culpable legally.
A huge part of me feels that Anna was manipulating, coercing Anton into doing things, and Anton, with his charisma, people just gravitated towards him. And so she was, you know, like the puppet master.
She had this way of convincing people and coercing them to do whatever she wanted. She had expected her boyfriends in the past to like pay for everything and pay her bills, pay her rent, pay this, pay that.
You know, it was very smart of her because everything was put under Anton's name, and that way, if anything went wrong, she could just wipe her hands clean.
There was a lot of like emotional manipulation. She could discard someone so easily and quickly and then move on, like nothing.
Anna was the perfect chameleon. She molded to whoever she needed to be.
With all the things that I've learned about Anna, I think she does possess a lot of mental illness traits like sociopathy and narcissism. She really wanted to be famous, and now she is known now for this.
Giving somebody drugs to incapacitate them, you do that because you've thought of it. Like, it's premeditated 100%. And that sort of behavior is comparable to behavior that I saw personally at the yoga studio.
Feels nice to be told you're amazing every day, that you're my best friend, that I really care about you. And you know, it feels good to receive these things, but it's all a lie. It's all a manipulative tactic.
When they met this man, they 100% saw their opportunity to take advantage in every way possible.
Yes, it was a crime of entitlement.
I've got bad habits, yes I do.
We're being told we need more money.
That's when everything hit the fan.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's hard to believe this trusted leader could be stealing. How did she cover it up?
Only God knows.
The fact that she's a nun shouldn't excuse what she did. We all got duped.